as black people, we need to tell our stories. We need to hand it down to our children, our children's children.
Our own writers as well, because they have a lot to say about black history.
Amen.
Or our African history.
Nobody knows our story better than ourselves.
I think coming from the West Indies and what I grew up with, white people in our church, in the Methodist church, in schools, Methodist mans, coming here, it was so different.
We didn't know, the history wasn't written out. So now everything is coming out. So that's what it means to me. I'm glad about it.
The racism stands out. It's changed a little bit, but not a lot. But there are changes which I've noticed. When I talk to my children about it, they thought, "What? You had to go through that? They can't really fathom or understand that you had to go through all that." Because one of the things, like, they all know it now. Everyone knows you, and that thing that they say about you looking for a room and the notice says no dogs, no blacks, no Irish, all that sort of thing. They all recognise that now, but they can't understand the depth of it.
The marching, yes, and in Brailton Road when we marched. I remember they were selling us meat in Brixton Market, more expensive. And this woman from Wales, she went with me. They sold me the beef at a higher price, and they sold her, and she took them to court.
I was born just after our country, Sierra Leone, had independence. We were told, of how, Sierra Leonean lawyers, go to Nigeria, went to Ghana and all of those places and fought for independence, for all of these nations.
It was wonderful when quite a few black people started the organization, like the Brixton Neighborhood Association, where I used to do voluntary work.
For me, it would be, like when they used to line us up for when the Queen is coming, and we would be under the burning sun to wave the flag, for just this one person.
Two people that have really inspired me. One is called Senge Pierre. The Americans call him Joseph Sinki. He was born in 1814. He was stolen in Africa as a slave, put in a slave vessel called La Amistad. It's a Spanish vessel. And this Mendy guy, Mendy was his tribe. They released themselves. They get rid of their captors. They took over the slave ship, wanting to come back to Africa, but they end up in America. And these people, they profess that they were free men, and the people like John Quincy Adams and people like Roger Shamar, Baldwin, they fought with them in the American High Court, and they fought and won, and they said, we want to go back to Africa, and they were taken back to Africa. That's a wonderful story. Another person was Baibure.
Yeah,
we grew up with, learning the story about this man. This man was a hero. He was a strategist. He was a military strategist. He was a chief. He was a ruler, and he fought against the British because the British put a poll tax on him.
Martin Luther King, I'd say, inspired me because it made you felt like there will be changes, just how long, but that inspired me. And even Malcolm X, he was, very militant. You wonder if that's the sort of path you want to go down to make your people understand, which is best, Martin Luther King's version or Malcolm X version.
John Small. I worked with John Small. He was a social worker, and set up the organization, New Black Families. So we started from there assessing Black people who want to foster, because they thought coming here, you left your family. It was, you could leave your family to come, so we weren't capable of fostering.
We all first thing come to do. The man named Joe Lewis. He was a boxer, and the reason because my brothers they used to fight,
Yeah.
So that was they all wanted to be like Joe Lewis, but he was a very small, really was interested in. Now, right now, there are a lot of young people who are doing a lot of things, positive things.
For me, more and more young people, Black people, have become more aware of the contribution of Black people to society, in science, in civil rights, in engineering, in invention, in medicine.
People are like my friends. It's a good job I have them as friends, as the Irish friends that I have. It's good to see, and I could talk openly to them, and they would understand, and I appreciate the answers they would give me, because then I know it's not a hypocritical answer. I know it's a genuine answer. There are others who have the same belief and feelings as they do, and it makes you feel that, yes, there is a change. And when you look on television and you see some of the people who are out there protesting about Black Lives Matters and things like that, it makes you feel good to know that, yes, there will be changes.
Yeah, when I first came here, I tell you, you go through ups and downs, but now it's not too bad. Put up a lot with the English people. You understand? You need to go back to your country and all these other things. We didn't pay them no mind. We just try and take it one day at a time and trust in the Father. And then we go through it and get along.
A lot of things I didn't know as a young person, as a child, to do with Black history, the Black people, do with my heritage or whatever. And now it's different because we are open to a lot of things that's going on and hopefully in the future. And the good thing for me is the younger people are aware as well. And they, for me, need to be.
Yes.
Because we passed through a lot and the ones gone, but they need to be carrying things forward.
Yeah.
I think it's very important because they would forget it's like, put it this way, like my grandchildren now, they're mixed race. Some of them are mixed race. If they don't understand the history where their parents or grandparents are coming from, they never really know who they are and what they are, because I still have a belief in myself every day. I always remind myself who I am, what I am, where I'm from. And that gives me a sort of a good feeling a good feeling in myself to go out there, and I can respect myself for it, So it's good to let the grandchildren know, because I tell you, one of the things I laugh and I'm proud of, two of my grandchildren up there are mixed race. They're half Thai, half Jamaican. And when I say, you're black and all that, and they says, yeah, but we're Jam Lao. That's our race. And when I think about it, I say, you know more than me. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them, and they're proud of what they are as well, which is good. Because I've seen a lot of mixed race kids out there who are confused and don't know who they are, where they're coming from, or where they're going. So it's always nice to let your grandchildren know. So it's always be proud of who you are.
I have three sons here, And you know, they understand it better than us now. But they read more and they have more understanding. Yeah.
It helps us to help them to see where we are coming from, especially in social work. It was awful. I had to stand up for myself. There was a black manager, and I went to chair a meeting. I didn't know who I was. And someone said, I heard that you have got a black manager. She said, easy. So I said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cleo Campbell King. I'm senior practitioner. I'm here to chair the meeting. And then after I finished, I left 15 minutes early. I said, I'm closing 15 minutes, leave you to talk about me. Yeah. And I'd had to deal with it. They didn't like it, but I did. But it's good that we are here to help younger generation to understand what we are going through, to be able to stand out, and to help younger people and people of your own age group.
I'm so happy to see young people are interested because you have a lot to bring, and you have a lot of burden you when you work, you have to carry forward. The old ones you can tell, we can only tell, but you're going to be living in that future.
It will inspire our young people and it will help them in their academics. It will help them in their contribution to society. So that's why I think it's important to share this, so that they will know their history and it will inspire them to do something for this generation and the generation they're living in.